Thanks to Greg at EgoSoft for providing me with the keys to the X4 Tides of Avarice, Cradle of Humanity, and Split Vendetta expansions. Space. It's pretty big, and there's a lot of it. These are the voyages of Captain Sokka. My mission? To start with one ship and 10,000 credits, and make a name for myself. Will I trade? Will I fight? I don't know. But join me, won't you? This is X4, a roleplay series. Sokka's log 8250218. We had a choice to join the North River with their Protectrion conglomerates, or we could strike our own path and have Bozo Ta steal the blueprints. We didn't want to betray Dagobah, so we stole those blueprints and made a hasty escape. The North Rivers put a bounty on our head, and the Vigor Syndicate responded in kind. We paid 15 million credits for them to look the other way for the time being, but were tasked with destroying a station. We moved into the Windfall Aurora's Dream sector and were immediately jumped by a bunch of fighters. Dropping Laser Tower 2s, we managed to stave off the first wave. We pressed hard on the station, destroying it bit by bit, until ultimately it was destroyed. The Vigor Syndicate then realized that we meant business and called off their attack. After capturing a few of the abandoned ships, we made our way back to Sokka's shipyard to regroup and check our losses. Home sweet home, eh, Miss Nakano? Welcome back, everyone, to Sokka's Space Vlogs, and we are pulling up in Argon Prime on our way to Sokka's shipyard, and I owe you a situation report to see exactly what our losses were in that last battle. So our Tiger's Claw group, as you can see, here are all of our fighters. We lost some Gladiuses, but we picked up 3 Kids and 4 Luxes. We lost the Excalibur, but we did retain Gumption's Gambit, and you can see the Kids that we picked up, they don't have shield generators, and we just basically claimed them and put them on the deck. But the big losses, as you can see, of our destroyers, we only have the King, the Nightshade, and the Lily. So of course that means we lost Delilah's Swan Song and the Hemlock, so we lost 2 destroyers in that, as well as some fighters. So what we're going to do today is see what we can do with those Kids and Luxes when we put them on our shipyard and take a look-see and see exactly how powerful they can be. Obviously, they're not going to be a Gladius by any stretch of the imagination, but we have some thinking to do. Do we want to... Well, I mean, shoot, we can't buy another Sin from the Terran Protectorate. Getting a shipyard of our own is always a possibility. As you can see, we're at 192 million credits. Let's see if I can update that and squeeze a little bit more out. Yeah, just a little bit more, up to 193 million credits. So if we were to, for example, get a large ship fabrication bay, and then we would have to get the blueprints for the Sin as well. And I don't think I actually know any large engines either. So we do know some turrets, maybe not the turrets that the Sin needs to operate. So we can hop over to Terran space and just sort of shop around and see if that is possible. I would love to get an Asgard, get another XL ship to accompany Miss Nakano and the Tiger... Okay, I thought he was naked. To accompany Miss Nakano and the Tiger's Claw. We'll just have to play it by ear, but first let's get these basic fighters taken care of. So on the flight deck for the Tiger's Claw here, you can see here... Orders. Awesome, thank you, Miss Nakano. So we are parked up outside our shipyard, and you can see the different types of ships here. So there is the Lux, that we picked up, and then we have the Kids. So hopefully we have the technology to upgrade these guys. We will hop on one of these ships and ride on over to the shipyard and see exactly what we can do, as well as repair them up. All of them are in very rough shape. All right, so this particular ship has Argon Mark III combat engines. If we were to swap those out for Paranid, we would gain a little bit of speed and a little less travel drive. I don't think travel drive is going to be as important because they're going to be on a carrier, so they don't need to traverse large strips that way. We have all-around Mark IIIs. Let's put all-around combat Mark IIIs to get some more roll up in here. Shield generators, a Paranid Mark III. Shield generator should be fine. As far as weapons, we don't need no dumbfire launchers, that is for sure. So I think some double pulse lasers would go a long way. As far as consumables go, we will sell back those mines and those laser towers. We'll keep the resource probes on. The nav beacons, the satellites, and the advanced satellites, those may come in handy. As far as crew, that is perfectly fine. And then, of course, repair for 25,000 credits. We'll add that to the shopping list.
The ship will be undocking soon.
All right, Ebby, go ahead and proceed. And I'll go ahead and get the rest of the ships coming to my shipyard, or my wharf as it were. But that is a nice view to see all of our ships on the flight deck, that is for sure. Yeah, looks like the wharf is pretty busy. Looks like we've built up some fighters for some folks, which is always good to pad our income, that is for sure. So it looks like the Paranid, we have some Antigone and Paranid fighters that we have built as well. And that's going to help pad our funds, that is for sure, because we need to start thinking about, do we want to make a large fabrication bay for a possible sin? And yes, indeedy, the Pulse Laser Mark IIs are being immediately fit, and the engines as well. So Ebby is going to have a fast turnaround here and able to get back on the Tiger's Claw. In the meantime, I will go ahead and get the rest of them ship shape and back to the Tiger's Claw. All right, Ebby, off you go. I bet it feels nice to have some shields, huh? And we're starting to get into our advanced electronics shipments. So these next ships that are repairing may be a little bit behind, but I'll go ahead and queue them all up. So we managed to get 2 ships upgraded with the advanced electronics that we have. Probably waiting on our next advanced electronics shipment, and we might have to consider ramping up advanced electronics production, because that seems to be the holdup. So yes, indeed, we have the quantum tubes and the microchips and the energy cells by far. We just don't have the production output. So another advanced electronics node here definitely would not be bad, and I would think would pay for itself over time. Yeah, we can squeeze an advanced electronics right there, and then another one on the other side if need be. We'll go ahead and confirm those module changes. 494 Claytronics, 989 energy cells. We'll open that up to everyone. Put in some moolah, find us a builder, which there should be one indeed right there, the Argon. Right next door. Awesome. So energy cells are already pumped in. And yeah, it should just be a little matter of time before we get some more advanced electronics production, and we can do even more ships, which will be extremely important if we need to build large ships, that is for sure. Oh man, it is rush hour. A lot of my traders and miners are coming in. Only a few more kids and luxes left to go. Shelley, long time no see. I have a question, ma'am.
It's an honor to see you here.
How much would a blueprint for, let's say, a build module of the large fabrication variety go? 243. And you can't give me a discount on that? Well, crap. And what, it's about 47 million for the Behemoth Vanguard. Just sort of getting a price there, Shelley. No worries, but I will be back when we have the necessary funds for that large fabrication bay. Yeah, plus 24 with the Terran Protectorate. We can't teleport directly there to get a price check. Mr. Slammer, are you ready for a road trip? Yeah, so while we wait for those advanced electronics to get built, they're going to be right there on the bottom, right below that part right there. I figure we could go see exactly how much a Sen blueprint would be, because I would really like another Sen. The Sen was incredible, but That was our one sin that we got. So building our next one would be amazing. And we've got the price check for how much a large fabrication bay would be. The next step would be, of course, getting the money. So I figure what I could do is, in the interim, take the Tiger's Claw to grab some more scale plate ships. They wouldn't care a bit if we took their stuff. That's what I like about the scale plate. We could take several of their ships and then scalp it, sell it, and that is a good way to make a lot of money. Oh crap, is that an I? What in the world is actually going on? Okay, so it's just a K. Yeah, we're going to be on the lookout for that. That is for sure. Don't go jumping in there, Mr. Slammer.
Entering system. The void.
What in the world? So they are at second contact to Flashpoint. If they get up to Argon Prime, we do have our battle group there, and we do have a fully stocked shipyard with a bunch of turrets. Just for shiggles, what are we looking at? 242 flak turrets and 121 shield generators. So if that K does get near our shipyard, then woe to them. Yeah, just waiting on. So we have all of our Claytronics. We just need our energy cells and our hull parts to get there. It's a shame that we just didn't transfer our energy cells from this station. But the hull parts, yeah, we could probably do both, really. Yeah, we've got 3,000 hull parts in our container and plenty of energy cells. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to cancel those particular orders and have one of these traders do it ourselves. There we go. So the Caterpillar in Argon Prime is going to swap over those 989 energy cells and 1,811 hull parts. So as soon as the Caterpillar gets done doing what it is doing, let's see exactly what it is doing. So it's executing... selling quantum tubes at Argon Prime. Awesome. So once it's done selling those quantum tubes, then Mr. Shenneman will get to the shipyard and then do the swappity swap. Ah, it is great to be back in Terran space. There is the rings of Saturn. Awesome. All right, Mr. Slammer, as soon as I leave, feel free to head back to the Tiger's Claw. I can make my way back, without ship assistance. Thank you, thank you. And Mr. Slammer, be careful of that K. Okay. Ms. Kojima, long time no see.
To see you here.
Yes, I was wondering, what production or build module do you have? Oh, 302. Okay. The Argon were cheaper. And what about your ship? So the Sin is 148, you say? I mean, we could afford that, but we couldn't build it. But nice to know. Okay, so 148 and 250. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, 300 for the large fabrication bay. Yeah, we're not buying that fabrication bay from the Terrans. We're going to take that Argon discount, that is for sure. And yeah, so now we know how much a Sen blueprint is going to be. We are going to need to do a lot of buying and selling and grinding. You know, it's a pretty achievable goal, I think. Not too awful long, and we've made 1 million credits off of selling ships to the Paranid and the Antigone. So, I mean, once we get those advanced electronics modules up and running, and we can keep spitting that out, I think that is our big bottleneck. We stand to get a lot of money, and a few extra scale plate ships certainly wouldn't hurt that. Mr. Shenneman, thank you so much for answering the call and helping us out. I hope great profit to you. And thanks to your efforts, we can now get some more components up in our shipyard. So as you were, thanks for being a friend and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you later. You be safe out there. Yes, according to our outside camera, construction is starting. You can see the little drones down there. There's Mr. Shenneman leaving. And yeah, once we get this cross-section built, we'll have an advanced electronics production here with space to expand over here or possibly another level lower. So getting everything all together and fitting it a bit like a Lego piece, really. But yeah, shipyard is looking good. The only question is, do we want to pay for extending our building plot to fit a large fabrication bay on this station, since this station has all the parts and pieces that we need to build such things as the Sen. I don't know. Would it be worth it in the end to extend that, or do we want to take a shipyard in Saka space where we don't have any plot purchasing to make? We can just make a plot as big as we want, and then we would have to basically, again, start from scratch with miners and traders and all that other stuff. So, oh wow, so cross-section already done, advanced electronics on the build. All right, so in 12 minutes, we are going to have our second advanced electronics production up and running. And yeah, you can see that this is where our big bottleneck is. Hopefully our quantum tubes can maintain, but with shield components all completely done, all of our quantum tubes will be going into advanced electronics until they are done. And yeah, feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, as soon as we put in advanced electronics, they are gobbled up by an Antigone fighter squadron Eclipse. So a lot of customers still want a lot of advanced electronics, and I think that is where we're going to make the majority of our money from, aside from scale plate scalping. All right, so here's me spitballing an idea, and let me know if it's something that you would do. But for 10,000,008, we could get an auxiliary ship. Now, we don't have an auxiliary ship, but it has the capability of handling 222 crew. I'm thinking about using this as a marine dropship. So instead of taking the Tiger's Claw up to a scale plate ship, unassigning all the fighters, unassigning all the groups and whatnot, we could just use this ship as a boarding type ship. Also, we could use it as an auxiliary ship to the fleet, a place to restock, rearm. You know, we saw how important those laser towers were. So we could stock this thing up with laser towers and then stock the Tiger's Claw as needed. So we do have the income, and I think a scale plate ship would be worth more than this. So basically, one captured ship would pay for this ship as well, and then it would be ours for as long as we need it to be. So would you get an auxiliary ship, either for marine transport or to support our destroyers going forward? Let me know. Also, if we can keep getting 1.9 million credit trade routes, that would be ideal as well. In the meantime, we do have a few missions on the board. We can get those armored lockboxes from Yaki territory. The Rise of Curbs, we needed 400 million credits for the End of Oppression. For the Palace Foundations, we needed 500 million credits for the capital plot, essentially. We have the plot already, but we do not have the palace part. So that is going to be a tough one. We've got data vaults, and that is pretty much it for our local missions. So what I'm thinking is I can either off camera go and grab some scale plate ships, or if you want me to grab that auxiliary ship, we could do some boarding on screen. I definitely want to get those lock boxes perhaps next time. I'll take the Gumption's Gambit into Savage Spur, see if we can gobble them up quick, fast, and in a hurry without attracting too much attention. And if it gets too hot, it might not be worth it. So if you want me to show some boarding, get some scale plate ships, strip them down, or, you know, what would you like me to do? Let me know. Give me some guidance, because otherwise it's going to be just a lot of waiting and a lot of capturing and a lot of trading and just going through the motions until we can have enough to purchase that large fabrication bay. And there it is, friends. Advanced electronics production is now kicking off down there. So let's take a look at our flow and see if that is going to improve our output any. So we can output 560 advanced electronics per hour. We're going to run out in 47 minutes, so hopefully we can keep that afloat. But I think with advanced electronics being our bottleneck, If we can keep pumping them out and keep selling ships to the Antigone and the Holy Order, a lot of money is going to come in, and that's going to help with our 2 large traders, as well as any scale plate ships that we manage to come across. But the more I think about it, the more I'm sort of on board with the idea of the auxiliary ship as a marine border. That way we don't put the Tiger's Claw in too much danger going and grabbing those scale plate ships. So I will wait for your opinion. If no one has an opinion, I think I will get an auxiliary ship and start the boarding of scale plate ships, looking around for other lucrative short-term jobs off camera. No need to really dive into those too awful much, but try to make up enough money that we can get a large fabrication bay. Now, off the top of my head, I don't think we have any blueprints, so it's not like we're going to be selling large ships right from the get-go. Also, would you build a separate large shipyard in our own space where we don't have to buy a building plot, but however we would have to supply it with all the things basically from the ground up if we were to place it in Sokka's Space 1. But it could be a nice intermediary between Fort Brock and Tharka's Cascade. Just sort of plop that right in the middle, so if anyone does get by Fort Brock on their way out, we could sort of intercept any Xenon that may be through. But this would be a highly contested trade route, having to bring a lot of things, possibly from Hatikva's Choice or Argon Prime. We would basically be starting from scratch. But would we save a lot of money in the long run by not having to upgrade our plot size in Argon Prime? Because it could get very expensive clearing out enough space for a large fabrication bay. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. But yeah, sorry this wasn't an action-packed super episode, but we needed time to basically recollect our thoughts, get a game plan in place for moving forward, so that when we can move forward, it will be leaps and bounds. But I will see you next week. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. See ya.